Come get with us.
Yes. Hello, Hatter.
With that old Big Smo clip. Like, we need to get one with him with the weight loss because he's not big anymore. But I don't know if you remember the Fred McGriff hitting video that used to run on ESPN all the time, and it was like a 23-year-old Fred McGriff, and he was 40 and they were still running it. That's like what we're doing here. But we wanted to bring up some of our country artists because tonight country rapper Big Murph is with us on the Mad Hatter Show's podcast.
Yes.
I'm Neil Snyder. This is Kimmy Walsh. If you've never watched before, this is us telling you what's coming from our promotional company. We are a national company doing music and comedy shows. Tonight, Big Murph will be on there. He's doubling up with Catfish Cooley, who was on last week's.
Super fun.
So that should be fun. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff that's coming your way. One show that we just now brought up last week was Bobcat Goldthwait, and that is happening now. So we definitely want to acknowledge that one that's coming up here. You remember Bobcat from back in the day, right? You're not. Yeah. That's something we want to do. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If people have not been stalking our website and they they missed the newest one. Those are the newest dates that are up there. But there's probably, I think, 30-some shows on there right now. So basically, that's where you go.
Get after it. You have all the opportunities, people.
And looks like our first guest is already knocking. Like I didn't hear the bell, but I think that somewhat available. We do not want to make a Hollywood celebrity wait very long. So let's go ahead and bring on Efren Ramirez.
Hey.
There we go, Hollywood celebrity.
You don't want to make a Hollywood celebrity wait, but you don't want to make anybody wait, whoever they are.
Well, especially you.
Unless it's God. He can wait.
Try telling him that.
This part,
I do in the form of a cat.
Meow.
No, stay there. No, stay there.
He did. He called in early, and then the poor guy was trying to eat something. I was like, let's go to the celebrity here. So I apologize if we caught you too early. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I've been it's people talk about how it's always difficult for actors when they're on sets because you really are exploring a character. But the most challenging part for me as an artist is before I work on a project, because I have to do so much reading and so much research on the character and the world of the director, the style, the tone, who the producers are, the writer, and if it's character driven and plot driven, to really develop this whole world so that when I'm on set, I could do anything and everything. Like I'm like there. So that when, as the audience will get to see the character and they live in that world just for those 2 hours or for that series. You never really see me. You see the character, and that's how I was trained. It's just a longer process for me.
So what are you prepping right now? Are you on a play, on a movie, TV? Can you tell us?
I cannot say.
It's a secret.
It's pretty intense. So
wow.
It's so I have a rule. I'll do a comedy, and once I'm done with that, I'll jump into a drama.
Fun.
Because you can't. If you stay into drama too much, it's overwhelming for the heart and for your soul and for your brain. And when you jump into comedy, it's like you really forget the weight of who you are and how important matters can be. So
Efren, I know you can't tell us what the project is, but you can tell us, does it involve guns?
No
guns?
They both do.
Oh,
yeah.
Guns.
Multiple things.
Oh, very good. Okay, how about fast cars?
No.
No, that's scary.
No, I'm okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got friends who are in the Fast and the Furious franchise. It's great. I got friends in Transformers. It's great. But I think it's because throughout the decades of my life, it's just been I trained with through the works of Tennessee Williams, David Mamet, John Patrick Shanley, George Bernard Shaw, So your Neil LaBute are the great playwrights that you really have to. If you strip away all the special effects, if you strip away all the green screens, all we have is human behavior and how we can connect in such a way into finding a better version of ourselves. And that's the most challenging thing because now, as an audience member, they could just watch a film or watch a play and deal with issues that they can truly relate to and see how they can either overcome it or go through it. And that's, I find that to be much more challenging and much more difficult to do.
So you love it when you make someone just like a head case for the next week. They can't think of anything but your performance and the story you had to tell.
Well, an example. I just saw Whale, with Brendan Fraser, and he did such a remarkable job. But so did the woman who played his wife. She was Mortensen. I can't remember her name. She was in Minority Report. She's such a brilliant actress, and she's in it for like 2 scenes. And those are the hardest things to do because you really have to understand that your existence matters in the story at that moment to move the lead character in such a way that will ignite the lead character to make a choice, whether it's emotional or well thought out. So
this
you really
intellectual
have to enter the psychology of a
artist.
character.
This intellectual artist right here is the same guy that shaved his head because he got too hot in Napoleon Dynamite. So some people have just got on there. They're like, who is this guy? We can plug the project that we know is being advertised right now, the Napoleon Dynamite show. So.
We got so cerebral. When I work, I get so like you really, it becomes something else. But that's this side. The opposite side is the audience. Because the audience are going to be moved. It's like, look. Since we're talking about characters, we think about Napoleon Dynamite, right? And when I read that script, I remember it felt like Midnight Cowboy. And you're like, what is he going with? So
less hookers, right? But yeah,
it's not on the coffee. Let me tell you. So when I Midnight Cowboy is 2 characters. One character leaves his whole existence and enters some brave new world. And in that brave new world, he ends up befriending somebody completely different. And in that friendship, they help each other's dreams come true. That's kind of like Pedro with Napoleon. If you think about it.
There we go.
Yeah. So and it just so happens that we have time machines and lots of monsters
and Tupperware. Yeah, it's
Tupperware, right?
See, so yeah, I actually showed a picture of you guys now on the last podcast, and Kimmy did not recognize it's been 2 decades now. She could not pick out what movie that was immediately. So definitely You've a little bit. You're like, give me right here. I was like, do you know what movie this is? And she's like,
really?
Time out.
Okay. Can you just get her out there? Can you step out of your seat, please?
In fairness, it was just sitting up on the screen, and it was dudes like in suits and dress shirts, and I just saw 3 guys, and he's like, "Where are they from?" And it's in a distance, and I'm squinting, and finally I was like, "Oh my god."
I love it.
So February 4th, Louisville, we're going to show the movie. I'm going to be on stage talking to you guys, and the audience is going to be able to ask you questions too. You've done several of those. What can people expect? It's not a stand-up show. It's not a pre-scripted show necessarily, right? Like how does the vibe feel on a night like that?
It's such a vaudeville event because, first of all, like I said, look, this is a film where families can sit together and enjoy together without parents having to edit their kids' ears and eyes. For us, being a part of a movie that became such a cult classic, such a big hit, it's amazing to see. We see college students to high school students to grandparents, and families. It's like it's a film that everyone can enjoy. So, and when you have actors like Jon Gries and Jon Heder with me, it's like we're like we're still like 3 Stooges on stage. We really talk about some scenes. We reenact some scenes. Sometimes we get the audience who, for the most part, everybody pretty much dresses up as a character from the film. And they show up. Some people bring footballs, piñatas, cakes, beach balls. They'll bring everything and anything they can. and it's amazing to see the diehard fans. And so we'll play a musical instrument. I'll bring a guitar. I'll bring my harmonica. We normally ask for a bike, and then we do like a scene, or I'm conjuring up. I guess I could say it now. I'm conjuring up a time machine now, so that
Nice.
it becomes something else. We have like a tetherball competition. We have a whole dance competition that happens. It becomes so interactive.
Wow.
And audience involved, because we all remember how that, what's so great about this film is that it's about inclusion. It's about being different. It's about being, we're all slightly weird in such a way. And so, but, if we embrace our differences and our similarities, we can enjoy life together. And I think that's very, very important.
Is that why you think people took to that movie? Was the people could identify with the strangeness? What was it that made people go, this little movie, like I want to go see this, and I want to watch it again after it's over, and I want to memorize the lines, and
they watch the film because they want to see if the time machine maybe could have possibly have worked.
We need a sci-fi sequel. That's what we need.
Imagine if it actually did work. So, I mean, there's so many funny moments from that to even, as you mentioned, the Tupperware. When he's
Right.
trying to sell it. It's like we all have an Uncle Rico. We've most of us have experimented wanting to go to a dojo and kick some butt. Who doesn't want to be Rex Kwando, and look at his wife, Starla, right? And so, that's hilarious. Or like Napoleon's brother, Kip, who wants to become a cage fighter, and you're like, dude,
Right.
what?
And he's a ladies' man online.
Yeah. And even just the way he talks, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, it's hilarious.
La Fonda. Like that
Yeah,
when he
right?
shows up
Yeah.
and the spelling of La Fonda. So,
Yeah, I love that stuff.
just so many little tiny details throughout that movie that make it so memorable that you can quote it and people know exactly what you're talking about. It's definitely a household name.
Yeah.
And went on to be a cartoon.
Yeah.
Did what did you think of your character becoming a cartoon, and how do you adapt to changing the dynamic? That's
Well, it's like, I think that's what I look like right now.
So over the top.
It's great. When they made the announcement that they're making it into a cartoon, I thought, well, that'd be pretty cool. But it's also the surprising effect was being able to go on set and meet the rest of the cast, because now they have an understanding of the characters, and we were able to invite new actors to go on the show. I think we had Jermaine Clemens at one point. We had Sam Rockwell and Jennifer Coolidge, who so happened to work with Jon Gries. They worked together on White Lotus. So it's like, it's just amazing how you create a project and you start to work with people who are constantly creating that. At some point throughout the years, you're just going to see them again and work on more projects. So for me, working on the animated series was just like it was cream on the cake, icing on the cake.
Yeah.
very nice. And I was trying to think. I was like, well, everybody knows you're Pedro. But I was like, can I remember him in another movie? Right,
Well,
the
I know
first
you've
one,
done a ton of work.
and the first
like a
one I
ton.
thought about though was an action movie. So you act like you don't do action movies, but you did Crank 2.
I
Right
did Crank
afterwards,
1
right?
and 2.
One
I played
and
my own
2.
twin.
So that's so you were in both movies there. This is an action role. You give yourself credit for that.
Yeah, I again, it's like, look, I'll do from horror to sci-fi to drama to comedy, right? To a farce, right? I'll do it all, and I love it all. I do. I just like to sit down with the studios and go, who's this character, and how far can we take him so that he really complements the story. I think that's important than just going in and saying bless you. Because you want to do something that's significant to the story, that's significant that we're millions of people can watch and go, oh, there's something about that he adds to the story. That's memorable. That's great. Good. Yeah, it's good. It's harder, but yeah.
So for the research to be your own identical twin, do you watch like Patty Duke in Parent Trap, or?
Oh, I mean, she
Are
did
you
great.
familiar with those ones?
So did, to add to that note, so did Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Parent Trap, Lindsay Lohan, you were doing that.
Right, yeah. To food for thought, I will tell you that both Jon Heder, who played Napoleon, and I have identical twin brothers.
In real life?
I'm a twin, and so is he.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah. So it's like when I relate to that, I go, yeah, I know what it's like being a twin. So when I did the first Crank, he was very he was soft and very sweet, and he liked he was very glamorous and light, you know. So I just played that way, and he was totally in love with Chef Shelley. It was Jason Statham. Yeah, because Jason's like so rough, and he's like, "Oi, mate, oi, you ready to go?" And I'm like, oh, "That's great, let's go." So,
what's he like on stage and on the set? Is he intense in real life, or like?
He just, I'm sure when he's sleeping, he's intense. I mean, I love Jason Statham, and so I did the first one, and spoiler alert, my character dies. In so many ways. And then, so in the sequel, my twin, they made him completely different. He was much more somebody who knew kung fu. He was he had full body Tourette's, and he was aggressive, and he was very assertive. So you really had to create a dynamic how they can resemble each other yet be their own identity, have their own identities. So the first one, I wanted to make him. Well, I can't remember who as an actor, you always pick an archetype. An example, Pedro Sánchez was Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin, and my ex-girlfriend's dog. They were very still, But when I did the Crank Part 2, I took Martin Gore from Depeche Mode and Freddie Mercury, and you put them together, and there he was with some kung fu. There he was.
Right.
All right.
So for the folks that haven't seen your entire discography, haven't seen all your movies or all your projects, what's one out there that you're particularly proud of that you would want people to check out?
The one you see the poster right there. I was like, here, right there. I'm in that with Chris Evans, Lightyear.
Yeah, I saw that.
I play
another animated.
Diaz. I play the science engineer. I create the XL1 and I find the crystals that really develop microtechnology in such a way with I deal with nuclear fusion and energy. So, yeah.
That's rather highbrow for a kids movie. That's it sounds like I need to study before I watch that movie. So that's.
And learn. I was like, yeah, I gotta do my work. I was like, okay. So I spent time with a couple of with nuclear physicists and an astronaut, and I was like, this is great. What a life! Like, what?
Yeah.
Can I push the button?
Completely opposite of Napoleon Dynamite. There were no astronauts in that film. That was
not yet. Until you see the sequel.
Okay, so who, I'm sure you're around a lot of big names, but who still makes you starstruck? Who, when you see, can you like kind of not make words and like maybe get a little awkward, like you're like, I'm trying to be normal, I'm being normal, they can't tell.
Okay, all right. So I went to a premiere of a movie, right? And I met all these wonderful actors. Like, oh my God, it's just so remarkable. But the one person who I saw, he had a vote for Pedro button. And it was Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Oh my gosh!
And my brain went, oh, "Don't eat me," So, but it was like, I'm meeting him, and there was another moment when I was at the Sundance Film Festival, and I found myself to be sitting right in between. I had Daniel Day-Lewis on one side, and Steve Buscemi on another. And we're talking about the work and the business. I'm thinking like, what a great social opportunity for me, because I could learn as an artist, as a young artist, what steps to make. And then Catherine Keener was like, oh my God, you're Pedro. I'm like, oh my God, do you know who you are? Exactly. Come dance with me. And I'm like, sorry guys.
We've got all the stuff popping up on the screen here. MadhatterShows.com is the website that you can buy your tickets for Napoleon Dynamite Live. You can see the movie. There's a meet and greet option to meet these guys looking like they look now, all handsome and dapper. I'm going to have to get a new jacket to hang on that stage.
Those nerds.
And a lot of fun there. Plug your stuff here. We gotta go over some other stuff before I bring the other guest on. But where can people find you online? Find some of your projects. Keep following up with you.
What can I announce? I could say that I'm working on 2 projects this year so far, and I tried only working on 3 projects, and that's it, because you really it takes a toll on you, and it's the process is a lot. So. But I do have a film, 3 films. One's called Seven Cemeteries. It's straight up. It's horror, but has some comedy in it. But it's straight up horror. So, and then the other one is called Paleface. That's a heavy drama, and I was like, ooh, I was gaining a lot of weight for that. It was just, I was like, every day was like, why am I alive? So, and then the other one is called Satanic Hispanic.
What?
That's something else. It's like Grindhouse, and I was like,
wow,
it's hard. And I was like, my team were like, well, we don't know about that. I go, let me read the script. I'm in.
Are you the Satanic Hispanic? Are you the main Satanic Hispanic on the?
It's quite like Tales from the Crypt, and I'm still like the Crypt Keeper. So
okay,
interesting.
So it's the Black Cat.
Nice. Totally in character. Awesome. Well, we thank you for stopping by tonight and talking to us. I'm looking forward to meeting you here in a couple weeks there in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, we appreciate getting a little behind the scenes on what it is to be an actor. I thought it was just red carpets. You make it sound like it's hard work.
Well, Denzel Washington said it best. He said you become really good at whatever you practice. So practice work and you get better.
And I just like the way you say you work so hard so that the audience can be completely lost. They just are in the moment with you. So thank you.
No, my pleasure. And I get to see you guys in the near future.
Absolutely.
Bring your radio t-shirts, and I'll see you guys really, really soon.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. You're so welcome, guys.
Efren Ramirez, everybody. So that was fun. If you thought that interview was going to be with Pedro, it was not. It was with somebody smarter than me, I think. That's who that was with. So that was a lot of fun.
He starts whipping out those playwrights, and I was like, all right, we're talking drama school now.
Definitely impressive. So, but glad to have him. MadHatterShows.com. So I mentioned the comedy shows, the music shows. This is a unique type of show because this is not really a scripted show. This is just a special event, basically, where you're going to be able to talk kind of like we did with him, but with all 3 characters, and then the crowd can ask questions too.
Exactly. It's kind of a look behind the entire creative process. It's an ability to get your own hands on Hollywood and have the people who make the movies, make the magic, be right there to tell you, oh, this happened that never made the screen, or this was my thought and why I made it this way. And you really get that taste of getting to be there behind the scenes.
I was at Steel City Con. Jon Heder was there, and I didn't meet him like a fan because I'm like, I'm going to be working with him soon. But I did get into the panel where it was not moderated. It was just him kind of talking for 30 minutes up on stage. So I already have a little bit of insight on the kind of stuff that's going to come up. Did you know this was a short film before it was a full-length film?
What was Napoleon Dynamite?
Napoleon Dynamite was a short film. You can see if I don't know if you can find it online, but you can find proof of it existing, and then it became a cartoon later. So there's just a lot of fun facts and a lot of fun trivia. But I was I'm going to need to watch that movie again multiple times before that, because there were people that are putting me to shame with knowing all the lines from the movie.
That's what I'm saying.
I've seen it 3 times. That's nothing compared to some of these fans.
Ridiculously quotable. You don't have to see that movie a million times to know the quotes. I don't know. There's just so many funny moments throughout it. I don't know.
You didn't research to find out he was a twin, though. I knew that. So
I did not know that. How fun! But both of them are, so they have this bond already.
Speaking of other folks that maybe you don't realize are intellectual and are capable of more than just silly comedic characters, before we realized that he was here early, we were talking about Bobcat Goldthwait. So we've got a video, I think, for him. But obviously the writer and director of World's Greatest Dad with Robin Williams and God Bless America, which was a fantastic movie. I was actually Googling it because I was trying to find the image to put on the poster so we could advertise this. And I saw, like, I'm one of these guys that, like, I rate movies on IMDb, right? And I'm like, usually like 7 it means it's a good movie, right? Out of 10. Like, I'm a hard critic. Like, I'd given God Bless America a 10. You know, like that's not a normal thing. So, and it wasn't even me being a fanboy of Bobcat. It was just because when I watched that, it was incredible. So, you know, basically he's coming to Mad Hatter Show's April 13th. 12th and 13th and 14th. It's on the screen, I'm sure. It's that weekend. But we definitely want to bring that up, and I had a video of what he looked like here, but I think
I actually didn't see a video of that in the Dropbox. No,
maybe I didn't get it drug over there. It's on YouTube.
Let's get it.
Well, whenever I prep, I get to everything, and then there's always like something I left out. So that's where we're at with that.
But we still love Bobcat.
I know I got some other videos, though, in the background to help plug some future shows we've got going on, including Catfish Cooley and Big Murph, who's coming on here in a little bit.
Yes.
So that's another show that we definitely want to encourage people. And spoiler alert for next week, one of these women that are going to bid on the gentleman up there, she's going to be in the studio as well, or at least like studio like this for interviews. So spoiler alert, Monica Cooley next week is going to be a guest. So
get ready.
Will be a lot of fun.
You're going to have a fun time. That's
they're coming
what I know.
to Fort Wayne and coming to Indianapolis. So there's a little spoiler about what's coming next week.
Yeah, everybody wants to talk to her for sure.
Absolutely. Another show that is coming to the area is coming to a lot of areas is Donnie Baker. We've got we haven't had maybe one show with him since last spring. We are getting ready to go balls to the wall with Mr. Baker. All kinds of different states: South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Georgia. Iowa, Illinois. I'm trying to remember all the places we're booking shows at. I think the first ones that are coming are the weekend in Pennsylvania, and it's going to be Super Bowl weekend, and the Eagles are still alive. Like that could be a lot of green at these shows.
Yeah, but where it's on the other sid of the state though, right?
Yeah, we're not going to be like in Philly.
Those are Pittsburgh fans.
Are they? They're angry then. They're not happy with how this season went, but Donnie Baker is going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are at madhattershows.com. I know you're seeing this on your screen. Donnie Baker is one of the most appeared Mad Hatter Shows headliners we've ever had. We do a lot of shows with him. We had a lot of fun.
If you go see him and you have any sort of incontinence, make sure you got your Depends on, because you're going to be laughing a whole lot.
It's a strange thing to say. Are you
I'm
incontinent, Kimmy? Is that what you're saying?
She's got poison in her pants. Isn't that a commercial? It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm just saying he's going to make you laugh real hard. You might split something when you're there.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Ginger Billy's coming too. Ginger Billy's our kind of our shirtless Donnie. We do a lot of redneck characters. I don't know. It's a thing. It's a branding thing. Yes. Mad Hatter Shows. We like the Southern folks. We like the folks that are of the earth.
Know your market audience.
Absolutely. And for some reason, we're always showing video. Like last week, we had like the jerk off soap. Now he's got the ball sack washer. Like these are the things we want to bring up.
Premium product there.
Efren would be like, I'm preparing myself by hanging out with multiple ball washers so I can prepare for this video. Like
it's like I only go method on weekdays, and then on the weekends I return to Efren. But otherwise, it puts the lotion on the skin, or this night's gonna behead me. You know,
wouldn't that be a great crossover with? I remember, when he fed Ray Liotta his own brain in one of the, I think it was Hannibal, like the second or third one, like that was after that. But Ginger Billy's going to be a lot of fun, and he's another one coming to a lot of different cities, different states rather, Kansas, Arkansas, Ohio, Tennessee. So Brandon Rainwater is going to be coming with him. He's been on our podcast before. It's a super good show, and for people that haven't seen his stand-up, he's actually pretty good. Like, you know, sometimes you think like the guys that just do the videos, you're like, that stand up is not going to be, you know, he's not going to take it seriously. He's just going to rely on the fact that people know his videos. Ginger's kind of a perfectionist, and he's good.
Yeah, and it's not like it's his first time on stage ever. He's been doing this for a quick minute, kiddo, so don't worry. He's got his biz together.
I'm telling you, his joke about riding on a roller coaster with his son, I would put it up against your favorite comedian's best bit. I would put that up against it. I laugh. I know it's coming, and I still laugh every time I'm in the area watching this, whether I'm selling merchandise or just backstage or whatever. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, Ginger Billy's gonna be a lot of fun. So
so get your tickets now, because you know you don't want to end up like a Taylor Swift fan.
You do not. Ginger does sell tickets. This is he's sometimes you're just like, I look at the background, I'm just like, there's no sound, and this is just almost looks pornographic, but that's where we're at. So I do shows too. Like I'm not the Mad Hatter. Sometimes people think I am, but I book stuff under my name, Neil Snyder, sometimes too. I still have a few different rooms I do. One of them is once a year. We do Rensselaer, Indiana, and Longhorn is going to be doing that show. We used to do it on Valentine's weekend. This year it's going to be on St. Patrick's, not St. Valentine's weekend. So you know, wear your green, get your green beer the night before, come in with green stained teeth the next night, and Rensselaer, Indiana. There's a steak dinner from 5 to 7 p.m.
What?
And then at 8 p.m. is the comedy show. There's a combination price there. And those tickets are available at the Eagles. You got to call that number. So
that's like a perfect night. Steak and laughing.
There you go.
You know that's going to lead to romance later.
It probably will.
It's gonna.
And you'll have like meat in your mouth and in your teeth, but that's
seconds. Who doesn't want a little gristle?
And while we're talking about my stuff, because of course we are, February the 3rd, the night before Napoleon Dynamite, if you're up north in Indiana, Winnemac, Indiana, I'm bringing Chris Hightower back to Tippy's by popular demand.
Yes.
Not only some of the people that watched him the last time, but the owner of Tippy's was like, it's time to bring Chris back. So that's like, it's if you haven't seen him, he's a local guy out of Danville, Illinois. He's opened for Mike Epps. He's been on stage with Michael Blackson. He's been on the Steve Harvey show. So this is not, you know, even if a national audience does not know his name, you should. It's a very, very funny guy. And if you can get to Winnemac, Indiana, you should check it out. That's another one that just you call Tippy's on the phone. The phone number is on the screen here. Look up Tippy's Pizza on Facebook, like their page, and give him a call. He's bringing his buddy along with me. I'm on that show. I'm going to be the host.
I'm hearing again? A recipe for romance, pizza and laughing. Another amazing date night.
I thought you were talking about romance and you were going to say me because I'm part of it. No, it's the pizza.
No, I haven't stopped picturing you in a purple top hat ever since you said people ask if you're the Mad Hatter. Because from now on, you will always be the Mad Hatter to me, Neil.
I guess so.
Willy Wonka style, like costume is all I can see.
Something to cover this bald head that's reflecting tonight on the screen. I remember the first time we did one of these. The producer's girlfriend came and she actually powdered my bald head, and that was
perfect.
Quit trying to make me pretty. It's not happening any longer. But that was something that was my showbiz moment.
It was shiny.
Also, I should have told Efren that I was pedestrian number 2 in the major motion picture film Whacked, which showed on the big screen once for a red carpet premiere that wasn't red carpet. It was just a premiere. But
you got to do it.
I feel like I should have brought that up. Like, I'm an actor too, but that's
and maybe he would have asked you some in-depth questions about your process.
How I prepared for pedestrian number 2.
Yes.
You know what that movie?
The research and walking.
So here's what I had to do for the movie. There's a woman that's ahead of me, and she drops money.
Oh, no.
And so I go up and I find the money, and I try to yell at her to tell her I got the money, and she doesn't hear me. So I have to run after her, but I'm fat and out of shape. And so I stop and I breathe hard, and I decide to instead go buy a drink. And that is the entire role. But I feel like they offered the role to me. They're just like, hey, we need a fat guy that can't catch up to a woman. And they thought of me. So that was That was my debut.
Oh, I don't know why they would have thought of you.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
oh,
and I knew I would work.
If there's any more roles like that, somebody who just can't catch up to a woman, Neil's available.
There we go.
You can reach him through Mad Hatter shows.
That's what I do. Message the page. Last time we had Kristen Tough Scott on the lineup as well. Her stuff's on the website too, and we got her in a bunch of cities. We got her in Cincinnati and Louisville and Richmond and Fort Wayne. If you come see her, you'll see me too.
Excellent.
Probably won't be able to catch up to her either, but that should be fun. We even have her on a couple shows with Donnie Baker, so that's going to be a lot of fun as well.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in their green room as the two of them are hanging out, because I hung out with Donnie. So now if you put those together...
There might be some drinking in there.
Yeah.
There might be some cussing there.
Especially if they're in Louisville, the land of brown liquors. That'll just... It could get interesting.
Could be a lot of fun. I think we're doing a good job of running down the lineup here. Let's talk about Utah. You talk about going to Utah.
I'm going to Utah.
The next Mad Hatter podcast, Kimmy's not going to be here, so she's chosen Utah instead. So I want to hear about Utah.
I'll be throwing myself on the ground on a mountain just over and over again, attempting to snowboard for 2.5 weeks, and then off to Cancun. I'm going to go see Fish perform for 4 days, so you don't leave the resort really. It's just people bringing you cocktails and one big party.
You resting your body that's been tumbling down a hill for
throwing myself. Yeah, so that's it. And I'm also considering becoming a sister wife.
In Utah, but not in Mexico, right? Like that's...
Yeah, could get interesting in Mexico.
I'm trying to follow along with what's going on here.
Maybe inherit an avocado farm or something. There's big money in avocados.
Good times. We're waiting on our second guest here, who I know lives out in the sticks and in a different time zone. So hopefully we've got that coordinated pretty good here. But here we are talking.
Well, if not, we get to know each other's whole lives.
I'm going to go over all the rest of my IMDb credits. It's not going to take all that long, but that's basically you're going to hear about some other performances.
Man who can't get woman. Tell us what's the other one. What's there?
Well, actually, I've got an executive producer credit actually for a slasher film that has already been shot in Indiana, and it's actually written by the killer from Happy Death Day, Rob Mello. And
that's fun.
If you're playing 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon with me, as 6 Degrees of Neil Snyder, the Rob Mello number is going to be 1, which is fantastic. So, but they did not let me in front of the camera for that one. They just let me give money to the production.
I was going to say, they just took your wallet out and said, thanks, boss.
Which is fine. I will buy my connections. That's not something I have a problem with.
Okay, did you learn any gore secrets, like besides like dark Caro syrup or anything unusual that you were like, oh, so that's how they do that?
Nothing that I can divulge. So. Oh, he's actually pulling up the IMDb page here where I haven't even paid to have my image on it. Like but you can see there, I play comedian in the short film called Virus. That's the pedestrian number 2. Yeah, that's probably the pinnacle. Like I'm probably not going to ever match that. But in Virus, there's a scene where I'm actually just doing my stand-up act, and it's somebody's watching it on a TV screen, but it still acted like I was acting instead of just doing what I do.
Hold on a second, though. I'm not satisfied with the fact that you say that that's going to be your best role. Where is your dream, son?
How do I top it?
You could someday be the guy that gets the money to the woman.
I guess I just have to lose more weight and
they rewrite the story. You just do one of those I don't remember what they're called. Like it's like not Fat Hal or something where suddenly he wakes up one day and then everything's perfect. Like Gwyneth Paltrow did one where she was a chubby chick. She woke up, but she had no idea.
That was Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal, that's what it was. Yeah,
with Jack Black.
But they do a version for you. That could be.
I don't know that anyone would see that. It'd be like you and my mother. Like that would be.
Okay.
Phone call. That could be our second guest here. I'm watching the camera set up, and we got him.
Hooray!
We got him. Big Murph is in the house.
Hey.
we were worried because we know it's a different time zone, and you told me you lived out in the sticks. So I was like, man, I hope that the weather's cooperating. We're supposed to get a snowstorm in Indiana. What's it look like down there?
Man, we don't get much snow down here, but it is raining right now, and that doesn't help with the Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's back. That was like on schedule. And that's all for the night. That was Big Murph, everybody. That's. I don't know if you remember me from a music festival we did a couple years back, but I'm Neil Snyder from Mad Hatter Shows. This is my co-host, Kimmy.
Hi.
And we do this every couple weeks. We're glad you're on board here, plugging your shows in Indianapolis and Fort Wayne here on February the 10th and 11th.
Yep, that's right. Irving Theater on the 10th in Indy, and the 11th in Fort Wayne at it's not St. Pierre's, it's just Pierre's, right?
It's just Pierre's, yeah. It's not a place that's holy.
But if you want it to be St. Pierre's in your heart, it can be St. Pierre's forever.
It could actually, yeah. Pierre's. I've actually performed there before, pre-COVID. COVID kind of put a damper in things, but before, I've done a show there at Pierre's. It was nice.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff there. A lot of what's nice is there's a room that is real good for comedy, but then the main stage is it's going to work for music here. Obviously, people hear Catfish Cooley. Sometimes they think it's going to be a comedy show, but he has transitioned to music. And one of the people that kind of, I think, got him there was you. I imagine you had a lot of showing him the ropes as far as you would see.
We're still going through the process, man. He's growing as an artist every day, and I'm just trying to help it any way I can. He told me we've been friends for years, but I actually just dropped a music video, Money, and we linked back up when we shot that video. He was one of the actors in it, him and Andrew Kahn.
We know Andrew too.
That kind of got us back together as far as we were friends, but we didn't talk as much. Now we talk every day, and he told me he wanted to do music. So I flew down to Texas and kind of showed him what I know in the studio, and just to help out, you know what I mean? And he just kept going from there. So I think he's taking it serious, and he still does some comedy. I mean, it is Catfish. He still does crack a joke or two while we're on stage performing and stuff. So you get a little bit of both.
Well, and you've got some serious songs too, but I would definitely say your catalog has some songs where you're having fun. Even the one the video we're watching right now. You don't always take yourself seriously in music too. It looks like you're a guy that has a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes too much fun, honestly. But yeah, I got some serious stuff. I got some fun, playful stuff, some stuff to just party to. I mean, I'm the type of person that my playlist, as far as a consumer of music, is all over the place. So I kind of make music that way too. I might have a happy song, a sad song, a song to party to, a song to be serious to. There's no boundaries to it. So I kind of reflects in my music. I have all different types and styles and stuff.
Yeah, if you go to Big Murph, like that's on, let's say like Apple Music, and you just put it on shuffle, you may get a slow song that sounds like it's auto-tuned. You may get him singing over a track. You may get like a club banger. You may get like a song about I think addiction and stuff that's serious topics, that kind of stuff. How do you kind of figure out the direction you want to go with writing a song? Is it inspiration, or do you sit down and go, I want to do something serious now?
No, I don't force anything. So there's days that I might want to write a song, but I can't. It's not that I can't, but I just know there's a feeling that I have to connect with before I can fully commit to something. You know what I mean? As far as writing a song goes. So I don't push it, but sometimes, I might go 4 days in a row and write a song every day, but then I might go a month and not write a song, so it's based off feelings, and it's also based off, past experiences. I try to, here lately especially, try to reflect more on a personal side of, therapeutic music, if you will.
Yeah,
on.
You can be a serious guy. I can tell you my favorite song of yours is actually a little less serious. I pulled up some lyrics here of to give you an idea of some of the some of the personality that Big Murph has here. So let me tell you something that I know. I do it big like a dino. Murph is white albino, but I black out like a wino. Like that's a. Were you high when you wrote that? Like that's were you like how does?
Yeah. That definitely happened. I like, I like to play with words too. Like that's a very strange word to rhyme with, dino. And you kind of creates a process when you start trying to rhyme with, I don't know how to say it. Just non-typical words. Dino is not a word that most people are going to say in a rap. So it made it fun. Like, I know, obviously, I had to rack my brain and sit here and be like, what rhymes with dino? What, it just, I mean, that also helps with the creative process, just trying to think outside the box a little bit.
So when you're writing a song, do you start with a beat? Do you start with a hook? Do you start with lyrics? Like, how does that, is it the same each time?
No, it is not the same each time. Most of the time, I would say 80% of the time, I find a beat that I like. And then if I don't like a beat within the first 20 seconds of listening to it, I'll go ahead and move on to the next one. It's also a feeling like you can just hear the beat and you just instantly can hear stuff going on in your head. And you're like, yeah, this is the one. Now, I have wrote songs without a beat at all and just wrote the lyrics and kind of had the melody in my head and the tempo that I would sing it. And then I go in the studio and tell, my engineer, I need a beat that is kind of around this tempo to fit these lyrics to, and with this kind of an emotion, and he'll, give me a few options, and then something gets created. I mean, but I've also made songs from the ground up. So I play a little bit of piano and I play guitar. I've been playing guitar since I was 12. So if you check out my genre album, most of the guitar you hear on that album I played myself, or I created and I came up with. It's original music. It's not loops or samples or anything. I actually played it live in the studio and everything. So I've done a lot of different, creative processes when it comes to making music.
So did you always songwrite? Like when you were a young guy, were you like trying to woo some kid at school, trying to make somebody swoon, writing my song?
Well, I was more into sports when I was younger. When I turned 12, my parents got me a guitar, and I think I learned "Smoke on the Water," which I think is everyone's first song they learn on the guitar. And I played it wrong because my dad taught it to me, and he played it one chord off. I actually corrected him years later. But then I just started, I kind of put it down after that. And then I picked the guitar back up like 6-7 months later. A buddy of mine at school was playing. So I had someone to jam with. And I actually played guitar first. I didn't write music until I think I wrote my first rap song. And I never even recorded it. I just wrote it. I think I was probably a senior in high school. But it was just something fun. I didn't actually start taking music serious until about 6 years ago. But actually, when I got started, I was just a guitar player. I was in a rock band in high school that was, I can't even remember if we were good or not, so we probably weren't.
That's great.
On the acoustic route. At that time, I was like, maybe I could just rock some acoustic stuff. And then I did that for a little while, but I never got gigs. I just kind of played with it. Then I started making hip-hop beats. And then I was trying to sell them. And I was in college at this point, and the people that were buying the beats, I just felt like they weren't doing a good job of rapping. And I was like, I think I could rap just as good as they can. So I started rapping, and it's kind of weird how it all transitioned from a 12-year-old guitar player to in a rock band to acoustic to making beats to then becoming a rapper. And then I don't even make beats anymore, really. So
yeah, it might have sounded like I was picking on him when I said, "Were you high?" But if you've listened to his recent albums, like weed is a common theme on a lot of songs. You've even got a song that sounds like like it's a Rasta song. Like it's Bob Marley inspired. So
Rastafari. I like reggae a lot. I like reggae. Like I said, man, I make a lot of different stuff. I got some rock songs. I got some stuff that's, Southern rockish. I got some bluesy stuff. I got just straight up rap. I got some, like you said, like some auto-tuning type, maybe newer age sounding stuff with the auto-tune. I like to have fun and just push the boundaries of what I can create. And my slogan is "Big Murph only make hits," and that just was created one day. And then my loyal fan base, they kind of started running with it. So that's like a little saying that inside the community there. that I try to make a hit every time. I really do. Like that's the goal. And you know, every time I feel like every song I make, and this is me being biased probably, but I feel like every song I make is better than the last one, and that's just, you know, that's a good business plan in my eyes. You know, you do better every time. So
tickets are at madhattershows.com. You can grab those for Fort Wayne or Indianapolis. So I ask those people a lot of times. A lot of times people, you know, they'll know some of your main singles, collaborations you've had, or like I just brought up Jurassic. You had the video for that one. Are there any songs that are maybe like under the radar, didn't get all the love that you thought they deserved, that like your fans would say, hey, if you're a big Murph fan, you need to check this out? Like, are there any songs that people should maybe search out that you wish got more play than they did?
Well, I mean, I really wish Jurassic got more play than it did, honestly. But you know, it's been a learning process. I'm an independent artist, so I've been that way from the beginning. So it has been a learning process. You know, in the beginning, I would release albums instead of singles. I would drop whole projects. And looking back now, that was probably unwise because, like you said, some songs get looked over that way because you're not focusing the attention on that song. You're trying to push a whole album to somebody. And usually the songs that you pick for videos are the ones that get listened to the most. And then the other ones kind of like fall away or get overlooked. Because I've had people come to me and be like, when did you make this song? And it'd be like 3 or 4 years old. And they were like, I just heard it the other day, you know. And it's, you know, so now I've been doing singles. So it's hard to really pinpoint one. But Jurassic's definitely one I feel like I wish I would have maybe did the promo a little better, and, you know, the pre-orders, and just now I've grown a lot as an artist, as, you know, doing the business side of things. And now I'm like 6-7 months ahead of myself, where I know what song and video is coming out for, you know, the next 6 months. And that's helped a lot as far as promo.
Yeah. And also, you know, they don't have to get as hungry in between the feasts of your music, because when you're releasing whole big long projects, it's a lot longer until you get to drop something else. So now you can just hit that dopamine all the time. Give them people what they want.
It's the steady content that the people want. Attention spans, you know, the attention spans are not like they used to be.
Man, you remember those 8-minute too short songs? You know, now it's like 1:56 is a track and then it's over, you know. It's
that's a hit. 2 minutes, that's a hit right there. If you got a 3-minute song, it's almost it's like Freebird was or something.
Better be a good third minute.
They pulled up that Jurassic video there, and it said produced or beats by Dub 3030. I want to see that guy's house, because I feel like every country rap song, heck, every rap song I hear has him come on at the beginning. That guy's putting out everybody's beats. Like he must not sleep.
Yeah, man, that's so we went to high school together, actually. And we were friends before any of the music stuff. He went to the same college as I did. He ended up transferring to a technical college and getting his degree in engineering, audio engineering. And so he's been there from the beginning of my career. Like we've worked and built. And you know, when I started doing the country rap stuff, you know, the more I started getting heard, the more Dub started getting heard, and that ultimately led to him getting more clientele, and that's awesome. You know, I'm glad to be a part of the growth, and he's helped me grow. I've helped him grow. It's a beautiful thing, especially being, you know, before we ever even did music, we were friends, so it worked out. Yeah, a lot of times in this industry, the friendships don't last. You know what I mean?
When, you know, a new song pops on you haven't heard before, you don't know whether you should play it or not, but you hear that 30-30, and you're like, I'm going to give this a chance. This is, you know,
right.
We'll listen a little longer.
I mentioned this on an interview I did the other day. He actually mixes more songs than there are days in a year. So if that gives you an idea of how many songs he mixes in a year, I mean, he's doing multiple songs a day, and on top of that, making beats. So yeah, I mean, he's very busy.
What a gift.
The show that's coming up with Catfish, I think we played a little clip of one of the videos up here a little bit ago. You guys have a lot of fun in your videos. It's for what I can tell, except the one where you're like you've lost each other. That one was a little bit a little bit tougher. It's like, what's going on here? It's like a concept movie here. This is that
was we were in Colorado. And do you want to ask the same question you asked earlier about if I was high or not?
I don't even have to ask on that one. That was I think everybody involved in that video was high, probably. That was
so big. Yeah,
It was something else, man. It was fun. It was more of a vacation, and we made a video while we were on the type of vacation. But yeah, the project with Cooley was fun, man. It was a funny name. I don't know if it hurt our reach at all, being called MILF and Cookies. They probably didn't like the MILF word, but you could just tell from the title of it that it was going to be funny and fun, you know, and playful. And although there's a serious song on there. One or two, but you know, for the most part, it's just a fun album. And it was Cooley's first project as a rapper, so I was glad to do it with him, you know.
So I just have just kind of like a serious question for you. What is the audition process like for Booty Shaker for the video? Because I think, you know,
it's a common theme in these films.
I just think that I might have a shot at this. I just need to know.
Yeah.
I just need to know the process. Like, I just shake. Do we get in a lineup and we all go at once, or?
No, usually it's whoever shows up gets the part.
Right. I think I'm qualified. I think I could do this.
There's not a whole lot of credentials needed. You're
All
just
right.
there. If you're there, you could, you know, you're part of it. So.
I think you're about to make one of my life streams come true.
We get you in a music video, yes.
Yes, but specifically like shaking my butt, like.
We're over here talking about my IMDb credits, and you're going to be like, "Hey, here's my ass."
Yes!
Like that's.
Yeah, I mean, God gave this to me for a reason.
You could be in a pillow fight too. Like apparently, if they do a follow up to this video,
it gets better.
Yeah, this was a fun video to make. It really was.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just see how much fun we're having there.
Yeah, it's got to be a great time.
Yeah, it was fun. Cooley's in there with the pillow fight too. I think I have a little head movement in there. At one point, they swing and I dodge it. The concept of this video was we're the white trash neighbors. Andrew Kahn's our kind of uppity neighbor across the street that's keeping up with the Joneses, and he goes out to walk his dog. We kind of got beef, so we go to party in his nice suburban home, and we leave, and he comes home to, you know, the women and the money everywhere, and he knows who the culprits are, and comes over and beats on the trailer door, and that's kind of how it ends. So it's like a little story in itself.
I feel like Murph, Andrew Kahn, and Catfish Cooley would be a fun sitcom. I know sitcoms aren't made as much like they used to, but like would you be down for something like that, where it's
that dude, I want to be an actor so bad. I'm hoping my rap career leads to that. I really do. It's something that I think I could do, honestly. Because I mean, you know, not to belittle acting, but that's all we do every day is act a certain type of way. So it's really just channeling that emotion. You know,
I remember Kid Rock was in Joe Dirt, which was not like a lot of heavy lifting in that role, but they asked him about changing to an actor, and he said, "Acting's nothing. You want something hard, try to write a song." Like that was like a paraphrased quote of his. I figure if you've been writing songs in different genres, you could probably figure out your way around an acting set.
Yeah. I mean, it might be weird at first, and you know, it would probably. I think it might ruin some movies for you. When you see all the green screen work that goes into it, and then you watch like Avatar, you know, I feel like if you saw all the whole process behind the scenes, it would almost like kind of ruin the like classic movies for people, like the rest of the world. The way they get to enjoy them wouldn't be the same way as you get to enjoy them, you know.
We had that exact conversation with the guest before you, Efren, how like lifting behind the curtain takes people out of that moment, and the beauty is they're in that moment, they're in your world, they're in that scene.
Yeah, I watched some of it. The you know, my internet wasn't cooperating too well. I don't know how well it's cooperating right now. I hope I've
been able to see you this whole time, so that's
gorgeous. Good. You look gorgeous, and you sound better, so it's beautiful.
She's trying to get in your video. That's what's happening right now.
I shake my butt so hard, hard.
February 10th and 11th. Tickets at madhattershows.com. We don't have the opening lineup lined out yet, but you will get both Big Murph and Catfish Cooley.
So
you guys
fun.
Do like 45 minutes each or an hour each or something, right? Like it's a long show. You come out to this.
We usually, like, so I'll do some songs, he'll do some songs, we'll do our songs together. I mean, it usually runs like an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. Usually hour and a half if the crowd's really into it. that always helps. You said you've done shows plenty, so when the crowd really interacts, there's no telling how long it can go until they kick us off, I guess.
Oh, in comedy, if they're still laughing, I don't want to stop. You know what I mean? You got to give me the light and the hook and turn off my mic and drag me off. Like that's that's
for sure, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, if you're a headliner, that's not so bad. When you're the opening act, that's when you get in trouble for going over.
Absolutely, which is where I normally am. I'm like, okay, it's time to get the real guy on here. So, the good thing about you and Catfish, I mean, you got all those millions of followers from his social media and all that, but you've been in the game longer, so it's basically a double headliner show. So you're paying for one headliner and you're getting two, so that's a pretty good deal. MadHatterShows.com. We're looking forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks in Indianapolis and Fort Wayne.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, and hopefully it's not snowing.
Everything you've got is pretty much, I usually tell people to plug their website, but pretty much anywhere you can download music or stream a video, you're probably everywhere, right?
I'm on everything, every single website. If you go to any of my socials, Big Murph, or Instagram's Big Murph 615, you'll find my link tree in my bio, and it like connects you to literally every single thing. You got my TikTok, my website, merch website, my YouTube. Makes it seamless and integrated. I did that recently.
Awesome.
Like I said, learning the business as I'm growing as an artist, trying to grow as a businessman as well.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you stopping by tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see you here in a couple weeks, almost 3 weeks here.
About.
If you got nothing going on the week before, come up and watch Napoleon Dynamite with us. I don't know what your schedule looks like, but definitely anytime we come near you, you've always got a spot at a Mad Hatter show.
And if it's snowing,
where's the show at?
That one's in Louisville.
That's actually just like about 3.5-4 hours away from me. That's a little day trip there.
Yeah. We got Ginger Billy's coming to Knoxville. That's probably closer to you.
That's about the same.
Oh, is it really?
I'm right in Nashville, so Knoxville.
Gotcha. We book Lebanon sometimes, so when we're in Lebanon, we'll definitely hit you up. So, because that's like what,
I
45
minutes away.
Having
me.
Absolutely. If it's snowing, bring a sled.
Yeah, for sure.
All righty, Big Murph. This has been a fun night. We had Efrain. We're probably the only people that ever have put those two guys together on the same type of thing. You know what I mean? That's what Mad Hatter Show is all about. We have the diversity, the eclectic list of roster of folks that work with us.
You never know what's going to happen there too. Where that relationship is just going to blossom.
You never know if the booty shaking audition is going to happen on the next podcast. You just don't know. So you should tune in whenever we're doing that. This is you can see in the background. This is the one I was looking for earlier. This is the one that's like in the strip club here. Yes. We got Big Murph, we got Catfish Cooley, and if you look at the right times right there, Monica Cooley, who's going to be here next week with us.
Next week,
she's going to tell us all about what it's like to raise Catfish's kids, to be on the tour with him, to be Mrs. Catfish, but also she's become very popular on her own as a model. So basically, there's some people that may not even know who her husband is because she's got her own thing going on.
Power couple.
She told me this will be her first podcast. So look at Mad Hatter's shows. We're going to be her first, and you always remember your first.
Perfect. Just tell her red leather, yellow leather.
I don't even know what that means, but I will tell her that.
It's a vocal exercise. Get your lips ready.
Oh, I got you.
Get your lips ready for the people.
All right. Well, I'm going to have the Bobcat video next time that I neglected to bring this time. Remember our other lineups coming up here. Christopher Hightower and Longhorn coming to Neil Snyder stages. Mad Hatter shows. Kristen Scott Tuff. We've got Ginger Billy. We've got the Napoleon Dynamite show, of course. We've got a show with Bobcat. Yep, I just said Bobcat.
Oh, you did.
Heather Land is also on the. We haven't brought her up yet. She's on the website. A whole bunch of Donnie Baker shows. So, yeah, if you're like anywhere in the Midwest to the Southeast area, and even kind of Northeast, if we consider Pennsylvania that, like we got a show for you. So, MadHatterShows.com. Check us out. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.